Now on CoastTV News.
Broadkill erosion.
The waves will be crashing where the old dune was.
Neighbors worry this storm could erase parts of their beach.
Dangerous surf in Fenwick Island.
We're seeing a lot of rip currents today.
Lifeguards warn the beach will be closed tomorrow.
We're keeping a close eye on all the effects of Erin, now winds along with the rain.
This is CoastTV News at 6.
Broadkill Beach in the eye of what DENREC is calling a severe erosion event. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. Welcome to our News at 6. We begin tonight with the coastal effects of Hurricane Erin. The dunes at Broadkill Beach are already severely eroded, as you can see right here. CoastTV News reporter Emma Aiken is live there at Broadkill Beach. Emma, locals and visitors alike worry that the storm is only going to make all that worse.
Charlie, here at Broadkill Beach, check out some of these houses behind me and follow us over to the water. You can see just how close those houses are to the water here, and these dunes protecting the houses are already being worn down by waves. We spoke with locals today who say, well, this storm may not damage the infrastructure, it's one step in that direction. And one man we talked with says he's worried it'll set parts of the beach back by a decade. The dunes at Broadkill Beach have been a problem area for years. DENREC says they are already severely eroded, and this new storm will likely make things even worse. John Wagner and his family are visiting the beach. He says he's worried about the damage.
I feel like each year so far has been a little bit closer to the houses that they're being built.
Lawrence Burke lives along the beach. He says Hurricane Erin certainly won't help an already vulnerable area.
And I believe that after we get the leftovers of the hurricane that's offshore now, that the rest of this here will be gone and the waves will be crashing where the old dune was.
Burke says a lot of the time the bay beaches get neglected when compared to the oceanside beaches.
Broadkill doesn't get the attention that the ocean beaches get because we're just a quiet, sleepy community, and we don't bring the money in that Rehoboth or Dewey brings in.
DENREC has already listed Hurricane Erin as a severe erosion event, and Burke has that in mind as he drives Broadkill Beach, where no one knows what the future holds, but you can bet that Mother Nature will be a part of it. Again, DENREC is labeling this as a severe erosion event. They say just how severe will be determined over the next several days. And guys, DENREC says they're going to continue monitoring the damage from the waves through Saturday when things are expected to calm down. Reporting live here in Broadkill Beach, Emma Aiken, Coast TV News.
You, Emma. And in June, DENREC proposed a realignment project to restore a section of dunes of Broadkill Beach, aiming to realign the dunes to better match the current shoreline. State officials say all work would occur above the average high tide line. The proposed work is expected to begin in October and last until spring of 2026.
Dangerous surf in Fenwick Island. Lifeguards were on duty today to make sure nobody went in the water, but they plan to close the beach entirely tomorrow. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zapay live there in Fenwick. And Kevin, high tide got close to the dunes.
Maddie, as of right now, the high tide is slowly creeping up to where it was on Tuesday, just feet away from the dunes. It's not your average day at the beach. According to Fenwick Island Beach Patrol Lieutenant Will Dowds, dangerous conditions mean the water is restricted.
We're seeing a lot of rip currents today, and there is still some heavy surf today. It's not quite as bad as yesterday, but it is still really bad for swimmers.
And Thursday, it's not just the water that'll be off limits.
Tomorrow, the beach will be completely closed again, not even allowing people over the dunes.
Local Danae Daly and her neighbor were shocked by the news.
I think it's overkill. In the decades that Fenwick Island has been here, I think there's been very rare instances that the beach itself has been closed.
Yearly vacationer Laura Fenwick understands safety is their #1 priority, but believes closing the beach should be the last option.
People should be able to walk the beach, look for shells.
Lifeguards will still be on duty Thursday between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. to inform the public about the closure. But for local Terry Hume Milwaukee, she's preparing for a different problem: bayside flooding near her home.
The roads will be flooded, we'll be stuck back there, and I'm just gonna ride it out. My house is 3 stories high, so I'm good. She gets a little swaying action back and forth.
Signs are out, Preparations are being made and safety is top of mind as a storm is set to buzz past the coast. Now, according to the Fenwick Island Beach Patrol, they say tomorrow will be the worst day yet. Now, if you live in Fenwick Island and want to stay prepared, they will have a meeting, the Fenwick Island Council, at 1 p.m. where they'll be doing preparations. I'm Kevin Zappe, live in Fenwick Island, Coast TV News.
All right, Kevin, thank you. Flooding has been a long-time problem in Fenwick Island, and a year-long study by an engineering firm is set to begin this month. It will cost Fenwick around $300,000. The goal is to create a 5-year plan to upgrade drainage and infrastructure across Fenwick Island.
Long Neck Island is another area in Sussex County that's familiar with flooding, with weather this week already hitting the coast hard, flooding back on the minds of people who live in Long Neck. Coast TV News reporter Brandon Ferguson is live there. Brandon, neighbors say they're ready.
Charlie, multiple neighbors here in Bay City in Long Neck say the worst of this flooding came Monday night right off of the Rehoboth Bay. And I'm going to show you areas that neighbors say were impacted the most. Starting here on the left side of your screen where that grass is, that's where neighbors say the water started. And as we pan over to the right, this entire rock and gravel area was completely covered in water, according to people who live here. And on your screen now is video from past years of how bad the flooding can get in the Long Neck and Oak Orchard areas. One neighbor Coast TV spoke with has lived in Long Neck for over 20 years and has a unique way of fighting bad flooding.
We look around, and I guess I can look this way, and there's a dirt line right over here, and you can see the last couple days we've had some water up here in the yards and everything, but nothing more than we've ever had.
People Coast TV spoke with off camera expect the brunt of this flooding to happen over the next 2 days in Long Neck, but everyone is preparing for what Mother Nature brings off of the Rehoboth Bay. Live in Long Neck, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
Other beaches on Delmarva also affected. In Dewey Beach, the ocean is open, but only as far as your knee you can go in. That's the same in Rehoboth Beach, waist deep there specifically. At Assateague State Park, ocean access is closed, and in Bethany and Ocean City, no swimming allowed. In South Bethany, the beach is open for walking, but the ocean is closed for swimmers. And for a list of all of the closed beaches, you can check out coasttv.com.
Let's hop into our Coast TV poll this evening. We want to know, how do these beach closures impact your plans?
Let's take a look at the updated results. 86% say no impact, 6% say slight change, and 8% say major disruption.
But I like what we have in this quote today. We've got a comment from Mike in Rehoboth who said it is a major disruption because, quote, with beaches closed, everybody goes shopping and traffic builds up.
That's a different thought, and if you haven't voted yet or want to share your thoughts, you can go to our app or website. We'll have updated results on Coast TV News at 11.
Now let's take a look at other locations on the coast.
Let's take a live look now into Rehoboth Beach if we can. And yeah, you can see that to our right here. Sunny out there, but a little bit of wave chop and ocean view at the bottom there, Charlie.
Yeah, we got ocean view as well. So you can kind of see what's going on around town or around Delmarva and kind of get a feel for what's happening.
And let's take a live look into Ocean City where, wow, you can see that tide really coming in now on the beach. As we turn it over to the man tracking it all, our first alert, Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams.
Well, keep in mind, high tide is at about 6:32 for us in Rehoboth and 7:11 for the rest of the beach areas. Here's a look at Erin right now, a little bit stronger, more organized with 110 mile per hour sustained winds moving to the north. For the coast, tropical storm force winds, inland, breezy winds out of the northeast at 15 to 25 miles per hour, gusts up to 35. For the eastern shore, watching out for widespread flooding as well. Speaking of flooding, watching out for major flooding from Lewis to Ocean View, Fenwick Island, and as far inland as Millsboro, watching up to 2 feet inundation in low-lying areas. The current wavelength's only at about 5 feet, but that's not the big concern. The big concern is what's on the way. This is Thursday morning at 9:30 with about 6 to 7 foot waves. Notice by 4 o'clock, the red comes through, and the reason why you got to read this correctly, that's between 8 to 12 and leaning more towards the 12, actually close to about 10 foot. That's according to our future waves as we're tracking that, and we have an active tropical storm warning now in effect. Ocean City as well as Coastal flood warning in Ocean City, the tropical flood warning in effect along the coast for us and along Sussex County. And then we also have concerns for coastal flood warning in effect for Lewis, Rehoboth Beach, Bottom Hills, but also the inland areas as well. And so anywhere you go, we're concerned about coastal flooding in general. And then even for, let's say, the Salisbury area, we have coastal flood advisories, at least in effect there. And we're concerned about tropical storm warnings in places like Tangier, Saxes, down towards Unnacock. Coming up, Charlie, we're going to talk more about the timing of those waves and what to expect late tomorrow night.
Thank you, Paul. New at 6, a judge rules against country singer and Milton native Jimmy Allen in his second lawsuit over missed court deadlines. According to court documents, Allen was penalized for repeatedly failing to follow court orders. This is all tied to an ongoing lawsuit involving a second Jane Doe who accused Allen of sexual assault. Among the violations listed, the plaintiff says Allen didn't pay nearly $6,000 in mediation fees, and he missed a court deadline to hire a new legal representation. Since his allegations surfaced, Allen has already gone through at least 3 different lawyers. We've reached out to Allen's lawyer for comment and have not yet heard back. For more on this specific case and others Allen has been accused of, visit CoastTV.com.
We have a lot more news to get to this evening.
Lorette Health Center changing patient access, what specifically the facility aims to do.
And I'll give you the latest on Erin's immediate impact on our beaches, and I'll pinpoint where the beach problems are most likely to be the worst.
But first, teal ribbons popping up in Lewis, the message behind that color, when we're back in just 60 seconds.
This is Coast TV News at 6.
Volunteers in Lewis took time today to turn the town teal. It's part of a national campaign to raise awareness for ovarian cancer.
September is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month.
Coast TV News' Christina DiRobertis, our anchor, is there in the newsroom. And Christina, there's no early detection test yet for ovarian cancer.
Yeah, and that is why it is so important for women to know the signs and symptoms of ovarian cancer so they can catch it early. And that's really the whole goal of Turn the Town Teal. The symptoms of ovarian cancer?
Whether it's bloating, whether it's difficulty going to the bathroom, feeling full quickly,
can seem small and easy to blow off, all while testing for the disease doesn't exist.
And that's why it's so deadly. Cervical cancer is found by a pap smear. There's no way at this point to detect ovarian cancer.
It's why Sally Oberly, Jan Gilmore, and a whole team of volunteers spent the day tying these ribbons around Lewis, turning the town teal.
I was diagnosed in 2013, and it was a surprise. I went directly into, I had surgery, and then I had chemo.
A survivor herself, Gilmore says the impact is wider than many might think.
It's not just women, it can be infants, children, teenagers.
The hope is that every teal ribbon can be the start of a conversation.
It's the visual to get people to talking. You know, what are those teal bows? And then when we have the packets that we hand out to the businesses, we have the brochures and other information to follow up.
A simple gesture with a big message. And it's not just Lewis. 14 towns and cities are participating in this initiative. You'll find teal bows in Milton, and volunteers are heading to Rehoboth and Dover next week. Back to you guys.
The latest look at Erin. Winds at 110 miles per hour, gusts up to 130, and it's moving north at 14 miles per hour. We'll talk about the effect of Erin coming up. Erin is having an immediate impact, although not expected to have a direct hit on our neck of the woods, so to speak. Waves are still very vibrant in Ocean City, and we're going to be dealing with that. Now, the winds are not quite so active right now, but they're going to pick up tremendously over the next 24-hour period. Tropical storm warning in effect from Ocean City down toward Chincoteague. It's also in effect from Lewis down to Fenwick Island until Saturday. In addition to that, coastal flood warning, Lewis, Rehoboth Beach, all of our beach locations and the inland locations. Watching out for inundation to occur up to a foot, maybe even 2 in some areas. We also have concerns for flooding along Highway 328, 1 near 52nd Street, and then at the very least, a coastal flood advisory for Salisbury, Pittsfield, Eden, Mardella Springs, in those areas. In addition to that, small craft advisory is in effect, watching out for 25-mile-per-hour winds over towards Cambridge as well as Deal Island. Now, starting back over here, we see it staying cloudy here. Scattered showers over towards Denton. We have some isolated pockets of rain, which is to the north, propagated by this warm front, but not yet a byproduct directly of Erin. This is the outer edge of Erin right here. Now, here's a wider view, satellite enhanced view. It's moving to the north, 14 miles per hour, sustained winds, 110, gust, 130. And the last few frames indicating it's leaning more towards the northeast. We're expecting it to continue to carry in that direction. Upgraded to a Category 3. We still have widespread hurricane winds for us along the Carolina coast. We're concerned about tropical storm force winds. Now, by the time we get into, let's say, tomorrow, the spaghetti model, the closest model to us, is still keeping that about 250 miles away from us. The other models are pulling even farther away from our neck of the woods, but that won't stop it from affecting us. See that wind field? It's going to brace, just briefly get a little close to the east coast, even as we run it through. You see how it pulls away from us just at the last second? But we're still going to be close enough for it to begin to have an impact, to the point of pushing these waves up to nearly 12 feet for us for Friday. Here's a wider view we're talking about. Let me switch sides so you can see. The darker red is indicating 12 to 14 foot waves. Right here along the highway, we're seeing it not backing off until we get to late Thursday night. So Erin Center tracks about 250 to 350 offshore, swells at 8 to 14 feet, tidal flooding and erosion. And then as you take a look at our day part, we're going to continue to see this begin to break up very quickly for us. The winds up to 50 miles per hour in some cases, and precipitation is going to diminish tremendously by the time we get to Friday. Finally, here's a look at your 7-day forecast.
All right, Paul, thank you. Lorette Health Center is making some changes for patient care access. This is in Milford, Georgetown, and Seaford. Lorette says it's teamed up with a bilingual outside organization to run their call center and has added new primary care providers, also in pediatrics, behavioral health, all of whom are accepting new patients.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
The NASCAR schedule for the 2026 season was just released, and the Monster Mile will look a little different than usual. Dover Motor Speedway was selected to host the NASCAR Cup Series All-Star Race. And while that is exciting, it also means Delaware won't host a points race. But don't worry, track president Mike Titoyan says NASCAR isn't phasing out regular season races at Dover.
What will happen in 2026 doesn't dictate what will happen in 2027 and beyond. And so we're focused right now on putting on a great race.
One difference is that the All-Star race at Dover will be held during the day, given there aren't any lights at the track. The winner, as always, is set to win $1 million. And after 24 total hits and 21 combined runs, the Shorebirds beat the Cannonballers 12-9 last night. Kannapolis led 8-2 at one point and didn't give up the lead until the 8th inning. But that is when Braden Smith became the hero for Delmarva. He hit a go-ahead 3-run homer, and that was enough to win the game. A big performance from Smith just a week after he got called up from rookie ball. And you can catch the rematch tonight at 7 o'clock on DSN. That's it for sports.
Here's a look at your exclusive 10-day forecast. Watch out for dangerous swells and rip currents for Thursday.
Thank you, Paul, and thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 6.
For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The NBC Nightly News is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 11. Have a great evening.